Steam and PC gaming. The two go hand in hand. Ever since it launched 16 years ago, it's become one of the most popular ways for people to buy and play games online using a single platform. Steam was first launched on September 12, 2003, but arguably it wasn't until Half-Life 2 was released that it truly found success. To play the highly anticipated game, players needed to sign up for Steam, which of course they did. And slowly, other non-Valve games made their way onto the platform. By 2008, Steam had 20 million users. Now 2009 marks an important time in Steam's history. This was the year that they added the under $5 and under $10 categories, reducing us all to toddlers, easily distracted by the cheap and flashy impulse buys. Ever since then, it seems that Steam has made it increasingly tempting for us to spend our coin on discounted games. And a lot of people have. Low prices lure us in, convincing us to buy games that catch our eye, that we actually never end up playing, or that turned out to be terrible. In other words, Steam occasionally acts like a discount bin where there's exactly one DVD of Shawshank Redemption among a sea of Adam Sandler films. Not to mention that Steam doesn't really monitor what kind of games get put on their platform. There isn't exactly a great system in place to test games for their quality or content, meaning that pretty much anything goes, leaving us with games like Genital Jousting. Although admittedly this game is actually a ton of fun with the right crowd. But there have been less fun games to appear on the site. A school shooting game made its way on there just a while ago, and just last year, a game promoting sexual violence against women was playable until enough people complained about it. Steam took the games down after people were angry and loud about it on social media. So no, Steam does not really control the games. The platform has made it clear that illegal and troll games are not allowed, but those restrictions are vague enough for pretty much anything. And developers are still free to make games as they please, which on the one hand is good for indie developers, but also opens the gates to really bad games. Games that Steam still makes money off of. Sound familiar? That might be because Atari had a similar stance around games back in the 1980s. People were making games like crazy, trying to milk gamers for all they're worth, pumping out bad game after bad game until the market crashed because bad outweighed the good. The similarities between Atari and Steam are uncanny though I think about it. Both accepted any and all games. Both had little to no quality control in the games made and didn't really seem to listen to people's complaints about that. And is it really a coincidence that the game crash in 1983 was in 1983 and that 2023 is only 4 years from now? 1983 plus 2023 is 4006, which if you subtract 2600 like the Atari's 2600, you get 1406. And if you then consider that Steam was released in 2003 and add 2003 to 1406, you get 3409. 34 plus the 4 years until 2023 is 36. 2019 minus 36 is 1983, the year of the crash. Not to mention that Atari has two A's and Steam has an EA, which is pronounced like E as in Atari. They also both have a T. T-E-E-T-E-T? Anyway, as we've learned from Atari's mistake, quantity isn't better than quality. As soon as the NES swooped in and showed us that they had a good console with quality games, the Atari was all but forgotten. So does this mean that Steam is doomed to fail like Atari did? Possibly, but probably not. Steam is a gaming giant, and for years, it hasn't had a good reason to worry. Good old Steam. For so long, you've reigned over PC gaming without a single worthy competitor in sight. Except that Epic Games Store just entered the picture, and they're ready to battle, with Borderlands 3, Rocket League, and Fortnite. Now, I'm not saying that the Epic Games Store is better, but it is the first potential platform to stand up against the monstrously big entity that is Steam, which might actually be for the best. Steam right now is a platform designed to make us spend money, with features beckoning us to pull out our wallets and making us feel better because it's only a few dollars. All on a platform that doesn't even have a shittiness control to save us from spending on awful games. Maybe, just maybe, a little competition will encourage the two platforms to listen to the consumers and design their platforms to satisfy us rather than their own wallets. Maybe.